A very pleasant morning, children. Welcome to today's class. The topic is Unit 2 Prose I Can't Climb Trees Anymore, written by Ruskin Bond. Now, about the author. Ruskin Bond was born on 19th May 1934. He is an award winning Indian author of the British descent. He is much renowned for his creating children's books in India. The Indian Council for Child Education had recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He received the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. Here, the story highlights the importance of childhood days. Here, I refers to the narrator or visitor and why the author says that he can't climb tree anymore. What may be the reason? He may be an old age man or he may be injured. And what kind of trees he speaks about? It may be a pine tree, a banyan tree, a mango tree, or might be a jackfruit tree. Children, do you know what are the benefits we get from trees? Trees play a vital role in human life. Without trees, there is no life for the living beings. So, save trees, save the future. Read the story given below. Find out why the visitor feels that he can't climb trees anymore. He stood on the grass wedge by the side of the road and looked over the garden wall at the old house. It hadn't changed much. The old house, built with the solid blocks of granites, wasn't altered at all. But there was a new outhouse, and there were fewer trees. He was glad to see that the jackfruit tree still stood at the side of the building, casting its shade on the wall. Now the explanation, a visitor came back to see his old house that had not changed. It was built with granite blocks, but it had a new outhouse with fewer trees. And he was very happy to see the jackfruit tree was still remained there. He remembered his grandmother saying, "A blessing rests on the house where the shadow of a tree falls." And so the present owner must also be receiving the tree's blessings. At the spot where he stood, there had once been a turnstile. As a boy, he would swing on it, going round and round until he was quite dizzy. Now the turnstile was gone, the opening walled up. Tall hollyhocks grew on the other side of the wall. Turnstile means a mechanical gate consisting of revolving horizontal arms fixed to a vertical post, allowing only one person at a time to pass through. Here in this paragraph, his grandmother told him the tree's shade was the blessings to the members of the family living in the house. As a boy, he used to swing in a turnstile, going round and round. Now it was not there. There were tall hollyhocks grown on the other side of the wall. Hollyhocks means a red color flower, beautiful flowers. What are you looking at? It was an disembodied voice at first. Moment later, a girl stood framed between dark red hollyhocks staring at the man. "What are you looking at?" This was asked by a girl. and the girl was there, but he unable to notice the girl. Here she was only 12 or 13 with lively eyes and long black hair. I am looking at the house. The man said that I am looking at the house, and he asked the girl, "It is yours." Here, hollyhocks means a tall Eurasian plant of the mallow family with large, showy flowers. No, it's my father's. Why do you want to buy it? The girl asked to the man. And what does your father do? The man asked, "What is your father?" She said, "He is only a colonel." Only a colonel? Yes. Well, he should have been a brigadier now. Colonel means a rank of officer in the army. Brigadier means a rank of officer in the British army above the colonel. The man burst out of laughing. The man, now what? Hearing the girl's word, he laughed. "It is not funny," she said. Who said? The girl said. "Even mummy says he should be a brigadier." Here her mummy often used to say, "By this time your father want to be a brigadier, but he is a colonel." It was on the tip of his tongue to make a witty remark. He needs to tease the girl, but he stopped to tease the girl. Perhaps that's why he is still a colonel. But he did not want to give offense. They stood on either side of the wall, apprising each other. Apprising means diagonizing about each other. Who is the man the girl is thinking? Who is the girl the boy is thinking? "Do you want to buy it?" Who asked this? The girl is asking to the man that he want to buy the house. "No," he said. "Well," she said, "if you don't want to buy the house, what are you looking at?" She asked, "No need to buy the house. Then why are you looking at the house?" "I used to live here 25 years ago. As a boy, as a young man, and then my grandmother died and we sold the house and went away. Before 25 years, they lived in that house. After their grandmother's death, they sold the house and went away." She was silent for a while, taking in this information. So she was silent, hearing this information. Then she said, "And you had like to buy it back now, but you don't have the money." He did not look very prosperous. She itself thinking that he came to buy the house again. "No, I wasn't think of buying it back. Want to see it again, that's all." "How long have you lived in it?" "Only 3 years," she smiled. He asked the girl how long they are living. They lived only for 3 years, and she smiled. "Would you like to come in and look very closely?" she asked. Then the man asked, "Won't your parents mind? They have gone to the club. They won't mind. I'm allowed to bring my friends home. Even elderly friends like me?" Who asked this? The man asked to the girl. "How old are you?" she asked the man. "Oh, just middle aged, but feeling young today because he came and seeing the old house, he felt he was young, and to prove it, he decided he had to climb over the wall instead of going round to the gate." So he had to prove that he was young. So instead of going by the gate, he is climbing the wall. He got up on the wall and right, but had to rest there, breathing heavily. He got up on the wall, but he unable to jump the other side. He needs to take a rest. So he is breathing heavily, sitting on the wall. Middle-aged man on the flying trapeze, he muttered to himself, "I am a middle-aged man. I can fly, but He is muttering to himself. Muttered means whispering to himself, to utter words in a low tone. Trapeze, a horizontal bar hanging by two ropes and free to swing, used by aerobats in a circus. I will help you, she said, and gave him her hand. He slithered down into a flower bed, scattering the stem of a hollyhock's. Scattering means damaging the stem of the hollyhock's flower. As they walked across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under a mango tree. While they are walking, he saw a stone bench under a mango tree. It was the bench on which his grandmother used to rest when she was tired of pruning rose bushes and bougainvillea. Pruning means trimming, the act of trimming a plant. Let's just sit here, he said. I don't want to go inside the house. She sat beside him on the bench. Bougainvillea is a kind of a flower, an ornamental shrubby climbing plant that is widely cultivated in tropics. They were silent for some time. The man closed his eyes and remembered other times. Other times he means his childhood days. The music of a piano, the chimming of a grandfather's clock, the constant twitter of budgerigas. Budgerigas means a bird. On the veranda, his grandfather cranking up the old car. Here he remembered these things when he was a childhood. This happened for him. Chimneys means making melodious sound, music, ringing sound, typically to indicate the time. A budgerigas means a small Australian bird of the parrot family, often kept in a cage as a pet. Cranking, the act of turning a handle to start an engine. That is, he is repairing his car. So students, I think you have understood this lesson up to this. The remaining we will continue in the next class.